All right, so this is just building on what we just did. This is rather than doing a linear from side to side gradient, we're doing one where we can control the gradations of the colors. And so same exact stuff, it's just the difference is that we're going to be using a different method. We're going to be using creating a radial gradient rather than a linear gradient. And here, these numbers, and I have this on your assignment, stands for, this is the x coordinate of the starting circle, the y coordinate of the starting circle, so that's about 120, 75, and then the radius of the first circle, okay, so how big do we want it to be? And then this is the radius, I'm sorry, the x coordinate and y coordinate, and then the radius of the ending circle. So this shows, these tell how big we want the first circle and then the ending circle to be. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing, adding color stops. So let's just see what, let me take some of these colors out. So it's exactly the same, and you can see we're still adding it into a rectangle. We're just creating the gradient here, which is just, when we talk about gradients, we're just talking about color changes. So you can see here, I start with a 0, it goes for about 50, it goes for about 5 on the radius, and then it diffuses out, and the extent. Now let's see what would happen. I mean, I just was playing around with this stuff. So let's see what would happen. Interesting. Okay, so that was bigger. And then if I make it even bigger, this is the radius for the ending circle. Okay, so it just tells me how big it's going to be. And then if I make this bigger, I believe it's going to be more concentrated. Yeah. So now I can add, though, let's say that I just take this out. Then it's, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that makes me think that this is still, let's see what would happen if that was blue, because I think I'm missing. Yeah, okay. So I was looking at this the wrong way. This is filling the entire space, right? Um, so this is the ending circle. This is at what point we want it to stop with its gradation. Um, and I can just determine how much the color is going to change. So I could do this and make this 0.8, so that's, almost at the end of the circle, make it yellow, and so it's going to be very, very red, and then a short period of yellow, and then it's going to turn into blue. So yeah, so it's, here's my orange, my red, and then it starts to change into yellow, and then the end, this is how big the entirety of the circle is. So it starts to change here, and then the entirety of the circle is going to be broken down into these pieces. So all I really want you to do is get that you can start playing around with this. This is something that you're really going to have to experiment with and play around with, and really just define what you want to accomplish. But when you start talking about using the canvas to create images, and we're going to be doing text here in a second, and then we're going to start talking about interactivity, where I can click here and it can change based on my my interactivity. I just want you to have these the ability to do radial and linear gradients. All right, so just experiment with this, add some color stops, experiment with it until you see how you can make this work the way you want it to work.